Buenos dias. Oh, you can do better than that. Buenos dias. My name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him, and I serve gratefully as minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome. We want to welcome everybody who is on our online campus this morning. We're so glad you're here. Hello to everybody on our Alluvial Avenue campus, and welcome to everyone who will be joining the service later on Facebook or YouTube. A special shout out to you as well. We are truly one congregation in many places. We honor the indigenous peoples on whose land the Alluvial Avenue campus sits. As part of this recognition, we encourage you to learn more about the history of the Yokuts people and to support or visit the following resources: the Native American Rights Fund and the National Indian Education Association. And if you are on our online campus, please be sure to learn about the indigenous people who are the stewards of the land where you live. The Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is different from pretty much any other church here in Fresno. We are not a specifically Christian congregation, nor do we find truth or wisdom or guidance from just one key spiritual teacher or only one sacred scripture. That's why we can welcome you authentically here, no matter your spiritual background or your religious beliefs. Here you are encouraged to nurture a spiritual life that feels authentic to you. No matter your culture of origin, please know you are welcome here. Your neurodiversity is welcome here and celebrated here. You are welcome no matter your disabilities, level of formal education, or the amount of money in your bank account. Those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, gender expansive, questioning, or unable to be contained by any word, we're all welcome here. Our welcome extends to include all people with or without documentation. No one is illegal at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Whether you came by yourself or with someone else, you're welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes, you are truly welcome. All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. If you're joining us on our online campus and you want your joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude, including in today's service, just text it to us at 559-209-4977. You can also type it into the chat box, but you need to do it right now so that we can have time to get them all written down and brought up to me before we have that part of the service. Today is our annual Thanksgiving celebration. A complex holiday, as we will explore today, but we truly have a reason to be loudly and proudly enthusiastic and grateful. 16 years ago, in August 2007, when this church campus opened its doors and the first service was held in this Alluvial Avenue sanctuary, all of this campus happened because of the hard work and the extreme generosity of so many people, many of whom have now passed into the mysteries of death, many of whom are sitting in the seats here today or sitting on the couch at home. On that day in August 2007, 16 years ago, we had a $1.82 million mortgage. I am so thrilled to announce that as of this month, and the check has been cashed, we have paid off, you have paid off the mortgage. And I'm going to just ask anybody who was here in August 2007 and part of the opening of this church, so you were part of the church before the doors opened, would you stand because we want to recognize you. truly, we are, the rest of us are, because you were. So thank you. Now, in our Alluvial Avenue Sanctuary, in the chat box, or in the silence of your own precious heart, let's take a moment to say buenos dias and greet one another. In these softer, cooler, more colorful days of autumn, may nature wrap herself around us like a gentle blanket of tenderness and healing.
One, two, three.
Good morning. Buenos dias. I'm Logan, an enthusiastic member of our middle school crew. In just 3 weeks, I will be one of the fabulous narrators of the annual holiday pageant. If you have a candle or chalice with you on our online campus, bring it close, as we'll be lighting it soon. Yesterday, our distant ancestors gathered around a flame to share their stories and find comfort. Tomorrow, our descendants will gather around a flame, talking of a life we will never know. But today, it is we who gather here around this flame, seeking, believing, and being together. Our flaming chalice, a spark of spirit cupped in earth's embrace. It is the light of love, alive in all creation. As we light this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. In that spirit, please light your chalice or candle at home. Tim, may you please kindle the flame in our Alluvial Avenue chalice.
Absolutely, Logan.
Let us rise now in body or spirit as Tim teaches us our opening chant, gathered here.
So, are we on, Mark? Yes, okay, great.
Yes, you are.
So, the words are, as they magically appear on the screen, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit, draw near. And we have some hand motions to go with it. So it's gathered here in the mystery of the hour. One more time, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit, draw near. We'll do that one more time before we chant. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit, draw near. Let's take it away.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, spirit draw near.
Let's take a breath in together. And as we exhale, let's say our mission. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. Well over a year ago, the congregation voted to adopt an 8th principle, 3rd value that we are prioritizing here at the church. And that is a commitment to learn about and transform white supremacy culture in ourselves, within this congregation, and ultimately the hope is together with others in this world. Reflecting on an article about white supremacy culture is Vicki Gavel.
Hi, I'm Vicki Gavel. I attended a social justice committee meeting at my predominantly white UU church. We had invited an expert on homelessness to speak about the shelter situation in our community. The speaker happened to be Black. Instead of being introduced and his expertise acknowledged, we were asked to introduce ourselves. Each person introduced themselves by giving their perceived anti-racist credentials. This was white defensiveness. It would have been very, very different if the speaker was white. I was mortified, but I did not speak up because of my fear of confrontation. I realized the extent of the pain my silence caused when I saw a young speaker at another event and apologized that he had not been acknowledged for his work and expertise and for not knowing how to make sure that he had the time to speak. He simply said, "I wish you'd had my back," and walked away. Well, now I will try to have backs.
And Vicki, I thank you for your vulnerability and your honesty. So this is a season of Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be thankful because I didn't ask him to do this, that in a moment Mark is going to bring up the wireless microphone. Thank you in advance, Mark. I'm going to need that in just a moment. So one of my favorite things about the universe is the fact that every word we've ever spoken is vibrating energy reaching further and further out into the universe. So think about that for a second. Every word that you have ever spoken in your entire life, it's out there, and it's spreading, and it's spreading, and it's spreading. Now, I know there's at least one or two things that I've said in my lifetime that shouldn't have ever left my mouth. And the thought that it is out there spreading its energy in the universe really freaks me out. Thank you, Mark. And that is a real invitation for all of us to be mindful about the words that we speak, because it's forever out there. So today, because it is Thanksgiving, I'm going to invite us to first think about one thing, one person, one event, something that you are claiming to be grateful for. You want to hold in your heart with gratitude. You're saying thank you. So first make that choice. What's one thing you're going to hold in your heart with gratitude? And now you have the extraordinary opportunity to speak that word and have that word, that gratitude, forever out there, vibrating into the cosmos. So I've got the wireless microphone, thanks to Mark. You've got a word. All you need to do is raise your hand, and I will run to you, and you get to put that word out there. And I see Patty all the way back here.
I just wanted you to run. No. No, the word is laughter.
Laughter, very good. You created it. Oh, yes, sir.
Dental hygiene?
Dental hygiene. I like that. Okay.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Num Num.
What is it?
My dog.
Your dog. Let's say the name again.
Num Num.
Num Num. Okay. Elliot.
All of my cats in my family and her.
Grandma.
Family.
Family.
My boss, Camille.
Great. Thank you, Emily.
My husband, Jim.
Great. Hi, Jim, on the virtual campus.
Ron.
Ron. Okay. Alec.
Kindness.
Kindness is a good one. Oh, Nancy.
Volunteers.
Volunteers. Amen to that.
Strength.
Strength. I'm running out of gas.
Serenity.
Serenity. May it be so.
My late husband, Steve.
Your late husband, Steve. And the final word that's going to go out into the universe is yours.
Education.
Education. So we're going to send our young people off to their explorations of the Spirit, where you're going to think of more words that you want to have grow and vibrate forever. So let's sing our young ones out as they head off to their Spirit explorations.
2, 3, 4.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go.
So I invite us to take a nice deep breath in, imagining we're breathing in peace. We hold a moment, and then we breathe out love. And again, taking in a nice centering breath, breathing in peace. We hold a moment. We breathe out love. One more time, breathing in peace. We breathe out love. As we continue to breathe, allow that precious breath of yours to carry you back over the last week, the last 7 days of your living. And a question: what lifted your spirit in the last week? What lifted your spirit? Another question: what one word would you like to embody in the week ahead? As complex human beings, it's important to take time to honor what it is we're carrying inside at the beginning and at the end of the week. All of our joys, our sorrows, our concerns, and our gratitudes. Some of us texted in those joys, concerns, gratitudes, sorrows. Others of us stopped at the small table that's at the entranceway to the sanctuary and wrote them down. And this is just a little, actually I should say a lot, of what is in our hearts today. Laura Radanoff, our board member and church treasurer, has joy unbounded. Our mortgage, which seemed insurmountable when we took it out, is fully paid off. Thank you to the hard work and generosity of this wonderful congregation, and especially to the anonymous benefactor who helped make it possible. And I do want to say that, and I'm glad Laura listed this up. One person, $42,000 contribution to waive the last 5 months of the mortgage. That's why we were able to pay it off a couple months early, so thank you. And we get Laura squared today because she also is feeling grateful, remembering my grandmother Bernadette with deep gratitude on her birthday. So happy to have had her loving presence in my life. I would not be the person I am today without her example. And she was and is so proud of you, Laura. Christine is feeling thankful for taking their nephew to New Wrinkles last night, and he actually liked it. Emily is feeling grateful, feeling grateful for my boss, Camille, and that for seeing me and my worth at a time when nobody else had. Isn't it wonderful when somebody sees you for who you are? Beautiful. Adeline is feeling joyful. My son and daughter-in-law are expecting their second child in May 2024. I get to be a grandma again. Yay! And on our online campus, Aida is feeling gratitude that she's spending time with my two youngest granddaughters, Avery and Jocelyn, and my daughter, Jamie. So some more good grandma energy. Paula is missing her mom on what would have been her 100th birthday. She was so vibrant, I thought she'd live forever. She is loved so much. Alex is feeling sorrow for the fact that over 320 transgender people have been murdered or committed suicide this year. Alex is also reminding us that this is Transgender Awareness Week, and Transgender Day of Remembrance is tomorrow. And we also have a card. Today we feel great sorrow for the loss of innocent Palestinians and Jews, for hope, for understanding, for peace, And we do grieve the violence worldwide, impacting so many lives with wars in Ethiopia, Afghanistan, Haiti, Ukraine, Yemen, Myanmar, Sudan, and Somalia, and other places unnamed. Regarding Palestine and Israel, our National Unitarian Universalist Association has called for a total and immediate ceasefire. They're calling for immediate vital humanitarian aid in Gaza, and they're calling for a release of all the hostages held by Hamas. That our National Unitarian Universalist Association. Today we also want to remember Joanne Bolt, a beloved and longtime member of the church. Her celebration of life was yesterday, a joyous affair for a life well lived. We also want to extend our gratitude to Jenny Rohan for her many, many years of offering yoga classes, both online and here in our Alluvial Avenue campus. It was a great gift of spiritual teaching, and as we move into a time where Jenny's going to step back from that for a while, we just send her lots of appreciation and love. We also send much love. We also send much love to our beloveds, those unable to be with us today because of health or mobility, including Margaret H., Bev F., who continues her recovery. Hi, Bev. Glenda R., Pat M., and Babs E. November is Native American Heritage Month, as well as National Adoption Month. And we do want to acknowledge that for many Indigenous people, Thanksgiving Day is marked as a national day of mourning, as it represents not a day to give thanks, but a day to mark the beginning of the colonizing genocide against their people and their culture. And as Alex had so beautifully reminded us, tomorrow is the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance, a day that honors the memory of transgender people whose lives were lost in acts of anti-transgender violence. As the Transforming Hearts collective rights, we hold in love and prayer all transgender people, so many of whom live under the weight of violence, fear, and intolerance. We hold in love and prayer all the ways that transgender people have survived and thrived in a hostile world. We hold in love and prayer all who recognize the significance of gender justice for all people. We mourn all those who have been murdered for living their true identity. For all that has been shared, for all that we hold in the gentle silence of our beating hearts, we light our candle of community. And in the light of this candle, our call to meditation, meditation on breathing.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Cuando respiro, respiro paz. Cuando exhalo, exhalo
happy birthday to my mom. Her 87th birthday, says Mike Riley. And with that, we enter into a time of silence, followed by our words of prayer.
Let us join together in the spirit of prayer or reflection. This morning, I am grateful for the spirit of life that has risen up so powerfully in me recently, that has brought new insights and new awakenings and new understandings and a new spirit of hope into my life. But I know there are so many, including some of us gathered here, who are unable to savor life's sweetness for so many reasons. Some struggle with complex emotions and trauma, pain, depression, and anxiety. Others struggle with the basic necessities to make ends meet. For those who have the time and ability to enjoy the sweetness of life's bounty, who have the time and ability to become absorbed in the beauty and the blessings of nature, may we treasure those moments so ample in supply. For those whose focus must be on pressing needs of survival, may you feel connected to the sources of support, care, and love that remind us all that we are not alone in the struggle or the pain. We ask all of this in the name of love and in the spirit of connection and community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
poet Alberto Rios writes, "We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because giving could have changed us. Giving is first and every time hand to hand, mine to yours, yours to mine. Together, we made something greater from the difference." In that spirit, I invite you to join with me in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? The morning offering for the continued ministry of this congregation will now be gratefully received. You have many ways to make a donation this morning. Cash App, go to our website, there's the QR code. For folks who are exiting the sanctuary at the end of the service, the ushers will be there with a smile and willing to take your offering in the basket as well. Thank you in advance for saying yes. There's a tradition that we have practiced pretty much every Thanksgiving service since I arrived as your minister. And it's a very simple celebration of that giving and receiving. And I'm thinking about Thanksgiving as a living tradition. So there's a tradition part that we do over and over that has roots that go back, but it's a living tradition, which means Thanksgiving must grow, deepen, and change, even as we grow, deepen, and change. And this song is an example of that. Pre-pandemic, we had hand motions that included us reaching out to one another and joining hands, and then lifting our arms into the air, united. Well, today, taking the hand of someone might feel comfortable, but for others of us, it wouldn't feel comfortable or safe. So we are changing the hand motions. And see, hand motions just aren't for kids. The kids are gone. But because for some of us, our spirituality is embodied. It's part of our body. It's how we move and interact with the world. It's just not a feeling or something in our head or heart. And so as you're comfortable, I invite us to rise. The words are simple. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. So it's going to be, our hands will be, from you I receive, to you I give, and then together we share. That's the joining hands. And from this we live. And then we just do it again, starting from that position. Then we do that, this, and that. Now, as Lorenzo knows, I have mastered the art of singing in the key of flat. So I encourage you to sing in whatever key comes out, because that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to start our hand positions. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. One more time. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. May it be so. Please be seated. So as we said, Thanksgiving is a living tradition. Our worship arts team is happy to share some reflections as well as some music on the tradition, as well as that call to make it a living tradition. So first, that living, and then after music, that tradition.
My pronouns are, thank you, are he, him. I was asked to share some reflections about the season. So for me, autumn is a season of change and contrast. Deciduous trees and vegetation change colors practically overnight once the mercury makes a substantial dip and the nights begin to get a little bit longer. Animals seem to become frantic and are in constant motion preparing for the challenges that winter brings. Or they migrate south to warmer climates. As the Earth tilts, new constellations are revealed, and familiar constellations disappear, obscured by the horizon. No other season is quite so dramatic and vibrant. This autumn, as I reflect about the goings-on in the world and our country, I'm grateful that I'm reminded that as humans, we all possess the capacity to reevaluate our lives, our prejudices, and our values. But, unlike autumn, we can make these changes anytime and anywhere. Any of us has the capacity to make radical, dramatic changes in our lives at any time, which is one of the most beautiful opportunities we have in this life, to improve. And it can be just as beautiful and rewarding, if not more so, as witnessing autumn. At this point in my life, there is a duality, a bittersweetness to the Thanksgiving holiday that has resulted from years of reflection and reevaluation. In my youth, this was always my favorite holiday. Family would get together, there would be lots of food, everyone seemed happy, and it signified the start of some of my favorite hobbies. In early adulthood, I worked in the woods almost every day in the Sierra Nevada or some other mountain range in California, Oregon, or Washington, and got to see what seemed like every millisecond, or at least every stage of change from summer to fall. That further solidified my belief that autumn was the best season. During this time of my life, I still value the family get-togethers, but now Thanksgiving felt more like a celebration at the end of a powerful orchestra performance. Call it a symphony of color. And Thanksgiving was the after party. As I grew older and into my 30s, I began to see Thanksgiving as something different. I can still appreciate family gathered together, still enjoy food and conversation, cannot unfeel or unsee that fall in the Sierra is a magical time. But I do see something else that Thanksgiving represents that I have personally perpetuated. Some time ago, I came to accept that white privilege exists and that white supremacy culture permeates throughout American laws and culture. I believe it is a human imperative that all Caucasians accept this truth in order for us to create a fair and equitable society. Autumn is a wonderful time of year, but Thanksgiving was essentially created as a celebration of the European introduction of, if I may borrow a line from bell hooks, imperialistic, white supremacist, capitalist patriarchy. This is a hard truth to face, especially when you are literally the face of whiteness. For me, it can often feel like I am being attacked, but once I face it and stand with people who are marginalized by these flawed principles of our society, to not only give truth to power, I transform to ally and relinquish power that helps move the scales of equality towards center. I believe acknowledging this truth is one of the first steps to real change, and the first step towards empathy for all those who carry generational traumas or those themselves that have been traumatized or victimized by injustice. It is the bare minimum that we can do. So, I plan to still eat turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, cranberry sauce, and corn with my family. First and foremost, I will take advantage of the day off from work this week to enjoy time with my family. But Darcy and I will also talk and reflect with our family about injustice alongside gratitude. Everything in life has at least two sides, two paths, that duality. It is naive and disingenuous at best to leave out a major part of the plot. If you haven't already done so, I encourage everyone to consider reframing their holiday this year by acknowledging that Thanksgiving is also a national day of mourning. This realization and acknowledgement can be a catalyst for change if we embrace the story that, much like the leaves that fall in your yard, major injustices were bagged up and hidden from many of us growing up in the name of American exceptionalism. American exceptionalism is a tool to maintain the status quo that I hope to continue unveiling for the rest of my days, especially on this National Day of Mourning. Thank you.
From far and near we travel.
Hello. Hope you guys are doing good so far today. My name is Jamie Jones, and my pronouns are she, her. I'd like everyone to close their eyes for just a moment. Imagine you are sitting down to a Thanksgiving dinner, and your plate of food is before you. What is your favorite item? What is dripping over the side? What smells surround you? Okay, now you can open your eyes. Hopefully I didn't make too many of you hungry. I'm gonna tell you about what I saw on my plate. When I think about my plate, I think of the delicious pineapple brown sugar glazed ham that my mom would bake every year just for me, along with the turkey because she knew how much I loved it. I smell the cornbread stuffing in the air, and I see brown gravy dripping over my plate. But I want to tell you about the greens. The greens that are prepared every year carry such meaning for my family. They were a mix of collard greens, turnip greens, and also mustard greens if she could find them. My mom would put some sort of meat in them, like chopped ham, smoked ham hock, or the turkey neck. Also, a little salt and pepper. These veggies were going to be tasty. My mom would start the greens about 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving, and they would be ready by about 12 noon. As a kid, I remember thinking, wow, the greens take forever to cook, but they always smelled so good. Through the years, I have tried all kinds of new foods carrying different cultures and backgrounds, but our family's soul food has always in some way remained. We called this style of cooking soul food. Soul food originates from the South, and soul describes the African American heritage. Soul food is pretty much down home cooking. My great-grandmother passed her recipes down to my grandmother, who passed it down to my mom, and my mom passed them down to me. 4 generations carrying on my great-grandmother's soul food. Sometimes I carry a bit of sadness during Thanksgiving, thinking about loved ones who have passed on into the mysteries of death. But I honor the memories of food and family. I wish you all a great Thanksgiving full of love and light. Thank you.
Sorry, I was so slow it required traveling music. Thank you. I'm Ken Ma. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Good morning and buenos dias. Thanksgiving's long been my favorite holiday. The weather's cooler, it feels cozy to dress up warmer, and there's the promise of Christmas without most of the frenzy. It is an occasion when we can gather with our loved ones in gratitude and celebration. No presents or cards are expected, and one expresses thanks for the bounty they've enjoyed in life and their hopes for the coming days. For me, it can be an affirming and reflective time. When I was growing up in small towns in the Central Valley, people often asked me if my family celebrated Thanksgiving. We were Chinese and my parents were immigrants, so it was a fair question. I was a little less patient when I got the same inquiry in high school and later, but then not everyone knew that my parents had been here for over 20 years. The fact was that, like many immigrant families, we had adapted quickly to local customs and had embraced those celebrations and practices that made sense to us. My father was a retailer, so he certainly appreciated the holiday shopping season, but beyond that, he and my mother were so very thankful to be here in America. I remember several Thanksgiving mornings when I was a child, sitting in the kitchen with my mother, toasting bread in our 2-slice toaster, many pieces of bread, at least a couple loaves. We'd pause occasionally to let the toaster cool down. Then we'd cut the toast into cubes for our Chinese-American turkey stuffing. Other ingredients included celery, cilantro, Chinese pork sausage, tiny dried shrimp, and black mushrooms. I can smell and taste it right now. Other than the customized stuffing, it was a quintessential American Thanksgiving dinner with turkey and gravy, biscuits, celery and carrot sticks and olives, potato salad, green beans, pumpkin pie, and of course jellied cranberry sauce plopped from the can with the indentation still visible. One year my father inadvertently bought the whole berry type, and the consternation over this unfamiliar form was palpable. In later years, as in-laws, cousins, children, and friends joined the dinner, the food became more intercultural. Over time, the people at the table, the size of the table, and its location have changed and varied. Births and deaths, weddings and separations, estrangements and reconciliations have all affected what it looks like. But the essential meaning of the gathering has remained the same. It is a time to come together in gratitude for the blessings we have known the past year, to celebrate our lives and how they have intersected, and to affirm that we will keep some part of that healthy connection close to us. And there is a promise, often unspoken but understood, that we will do this again next year.
Ken, I loved your last line, and there is a promise, often unspoken but understood, that we will do this again next year. Last year, when we offered our first Thanksgiving service about traditions and food, it featured a reflection from longtime church member and worship leader Sydney Story. At the end of the service last year, there was a promise, unspoken but understood, that Sydney would do it again next year. But 3 months ago, in late August, our Sydney had a terrible fall and unexpectedly passed into the mysteries of death. Today, our worship arts team wants to honor Sydney. We have video from last year's Thanksgiving service. And once again, we welcome the incomparable Sydney Story to tell us about her Thanksgiving tradition.
I approach my topic this morning with considerable trepidation, even anxiety, because it is suffused with passionate emotional intensity. I refer here to the Thanksgiving side dish called ambrosia. Ambrosia. It should be simple. Miniature marshmallows and fruit are folded into sweetened whipped cream. But that is only the beginning. Everyone agrees that the cream is whipped until it holds a stiff peak. But what is the essence, the very nature of the stiff peak? That judgment requires a panel of no fewer than 3 experts, no 2 of whom agree on the height and angle the cream should form as it is lifted from the bowl. Ingredients seem straightforward, with unanimous support for miniature marshmallows and grapes. But should the grapes be red, green, or a combination? Should they be small and left whole, or large and halved? If halved, should they be crosswise or lengthwise? Families have splintered over less. Apples and pears are generally regarded favorably, but my timorous suggestion that canned mandarin oranges, sliced mandarin oranges, cut into fourths or fifths, be included, was met with the tones of horror usually reserved for the discussion of natural disasters. I draw a veil, gentle listeners, over the vehement debate between the chopped nut faction and the chopped nut never contingent. Each views the other as heretical, comparable in scope to the beginning of the Protestant Reformation. But of course, the chopped nut faction, like the Catholic Church, is not a homogeneous monolithic entity. Should the nuts be walnuts, pecans, macadamias, or 2 or 3 nut combination? Each possibility has its impassioned advocates. Given the complexities and controversies inherent in the construction of ambrosia, surely flexibility and willingness to compromise become essential for the preservation of family harmony. May you all enjoy the Thanksgiving dinner you choose, including, possibly, a harmonious, delicious ambrosia.
We have one more tradition. It's a song many of us have sung through the years. Please rise in body or spirit. Let's sing We Gather Together.
Let's do that traditionally.
We gather together in joyful thanksgiving, acclaiming creation whose bounty we share. Both sorrow and gladness we find now in our living. We sing a hymn of praise to the life that we bear. We gather together to join in the journey, confirming, committing our passage to be a true affirmation in joy and tribulation. When bound to human care and hope, then we are free. We sing now together our song of thanksgiving, rejoicing in goods which the ages have wrought, for life that enfolds us and helps and heals and holds us, and leads beyond the goals which our forebears once sought. We sing of community now in the making, in every far continent, region, and land, with those of all races, all times and names and places. We pledge ourselves in covenant firmly to stand.
I invite us to remain standing for our chalice extinguishing, led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama
pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Please be seated for the reminders. Just a few quick reminders, and then Jamie will offer the closing words, so you can come on up, Jamie. So first, to let you know, let's give a round of applause to everybody who participated in today's service. And because I know she would want it, let's give Sydney another round of applause. Immediately after the service ends today, for those who are new or newish to our community, you have a chance to meet Cecily, our coordinator of community life, but also it is a tour day, which means she'll give you a quick tour of the church campus just so you know where everything is and it feels a bit more familiar. So just meet right here at the pulpit at the end of the service. Also today, if you want, you can head outside for coffee hour. And there's also, for folks who are new or newish, if Cecily seems just too foreboding and just too much, a tour is more than you can handle, you can grab a cup of coffee and just go to the table that says visitors, and a board member will be there. And it'll be Patty. You get to hang out with Patty. And it's a great, no-stress way to ask some questions about the church and also meet somebody who's pretty amazing, like Patty. Also after church today, this is the 100th birthday weekend of Bernadette Siegel, who was passed into the mysteries of death 2 years ago. And Bernadette's family is going to celebrate her birthday with cake for everyone at coffee hour. So you can enjoy that. We will have a memorial stone placement ceremony for Bernadette at 1:30 today in the Memorial Garden. At 12:15, we have a memorial stone placement for Sylvia Woodburn. And Skylar, I saw you here. We love you and holding you in our thoughts. So that will be at 12:15. Tomorrow, also in the Memorial Garden, will be a celebration of Molly Cantos's life with songs and stories. That's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Also, there's a lot happening today. Also happening after the service. You can get your coffee, you can get your cake, and then you can come back in for a very important very short but important meeting with our church's IAF social justice team. They have a critically important short presentation on the Southeast Development Area, SEDEA project, that the city of Fresno is trying to steamroll through that will hurt underserved, vulnerable neighborhoods, primarily neighborhoods of color, and this injury will be for decades and decades to come. There will be a discussion and an action plan offered. We stress the importance of this information session, get the facts, and learn how you can take action to protect Fresno. Snacks will also be provided to lure you back into the sanctuary. I've got a lot of reminders today, so thanks for your patience. Looking to celebrate Thanksgiving Day with some good company, we will have a shared Thanksgiving meal here in our Alluvial Avenue campus Thursday at 2 p.m. right here. All are invited. The church will provide the turkey and stuffing, and you get to provide the side dishes. We do need a head count so we know how many turkeys to expect. No, sorry. No. So we know how many turkeys to buy. So if you do send RSVP to Cecily at MSC@UU Fresno, she'll make sure you get added to the count. And I want to thank Mary McDonough for suggesting and heading this up. So thank you very, very much. Also important, everything's important today. Also important, if you show up next Sunday at 10:30, it's going to be a very lonely moment in your life. Next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. We will have no Sunday service so that our Sunday staff and volunteers can have the weekend to be with their families. Services will return the following week on Sunday, December 3rd at 10:30 a.m. But what's happening next Sunday in here? Nothing, no services. Great. Another invitation. It's just a lot. I told you it's a lot. Lorenzo has an invitation for us.
Hi, everybody. Lorenzo here, letting you know that on Sunday, December 3rd at 3 p.m., we're having our 4th annual Lorenzo and Company musical fundraiser to benefit the UUCF General Fund. It'll be similar to last year's because it's going to be live in the sanctuary only, not viewable on your home screens. So you got to be here to enjoy it. It's going to be a spectacular event with many of our incredibly talented UUCF musicians participating, plus some special guests. You can buy tickets to this amazing in-person event for $25 each or $50 for a family by visiting www.uufresno.org/LOCO, or you'll be able to buy tickets at the door at the time of the event. Once again, you're going to have a breathtakingly entertaining time while also being able to support our church financially. And here's a little taste of what you won't want to miss.
Voice in my neighborhood and a voice calling me. Feel you near in my moment of fear. Esta vida es mejor que se acabe, no es para mí. I dreamed that love would never die.
That's Sunday, December 3rd at 3 p.m. live in the sanctuary. Check out www.uufresno.org/LOCO and get those tickets.
And if money is tight right now, and I know it is for some of us, just let Patty at the visitor table know, and we're going to comp you in, because if you want to be here for the music, we want you here. That's the most important thing. I thank you for reminding me, there will be a memorial service for Joyce Cowder this Saturday at 10 a.m., and it'll be officiated by one of our favorite people, the Reverend Anna, and all are invited to help celebrate Joyce Cowder's life. Last but not least, we have a tradition where we like to welcome folks who are here for the first, second, or third time. And I know there's some of you here because you were here yesterday at our intro class and you came back, which is just awesome. So if this is your first, second, or third time, would you please stand for just a moment? We won't leave you standing alone. Welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them. We have our closing words from Jamie and then our sung benediction.
Our closing words.
Go for it. It's on now.
Our closing words come from...
Oh, not on yet. Okay, I think we got it.
All right. Our closing words come from poet Donna Markova, adapted. May you live a loved life. May you never diminish your mind or limit your heart. May you stand calm in a wide moment between sky that lifts you and gravity that grounds you. May you pass life forward so that which came from those before you goes on to those who will follow you. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
2, 3.
Thanksgiving.